All right, family. We are here live. It is Talk Black with me, and I am Crystal Denise. Y'all know I'm at the Cultural Center in Coldwater, on the square in Coldwater, Mississippi. So if you haven't been, please, you need to pull up, stop through, and come see us. This is our safe space. I talk about it all the time. We had to have safe spaces so that we can begin to teach and heal properly. Over here to my left is our safe library. And so I'm going to be doing the show pretty soon, talking about the importance of having our own spaces and housing our own material. That'll probably come sometime later next week. But tonight, I'm so excited, y'all, to have brother, Lieutenant, the king of the Delta, as Brother Patrick says, of the red, black, and Greenville with me tonight. But first, I do want to honor a very special elder. I consider him an elder, um, Al Green. Some say Reverend Al Green, some just say Al Green. I'm one of those that say Al Green because he brought us some rhythm and some blues, y'all. So real soul music. He was born in Forest City, Arkansas in 1946 on this day. And being an Arkansan and being a person from the Delta, Brother Malik and I was just talking about this great elder and the music that he brought. So if you have not listened to any of his music, I encourage you to go to YouTube or wherever you listen to your music and pull them up. And love and happiness. What else? Let's stay together
Thank
and
you, brother.
yes, all that. My parents were big, huge music fans, especially my mom. And she would buy records and she would buy albums. And this was like when we had the vinyl, the
Mhm.
record players. So they had most of his albums. I remember him. I remember Bobby Womack. I remember the Supremes. I remember Natalie Cole. All these great artists that we have. But like Brother Malik said, so much talent comes from the Delta.
That's right.
The Delta, the rich culture, the rich heritage. And so I just want us to remember him on this day. There's a lot of controversy sound, regarding his name. But at the end of the day, you can't take away his
Okay.
sound. You can't take away his talent because this elder was it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
indeed.
yes, so I'm grateful to everybody that's tuning in. We use a StreamYard, and so we can kind of see. It has an eye up there with some numbers up there, but I've been told that StreamYard is kind of tricky. That it'll have you thinking you only have a few viewers when in fact you have quite a few viewers. So we know how how it goes. You know how it goes. So I just want to welcome Sister Mila to the show to pulling. Thank you for pulling up, and Sister Mary. Thank you. Peace and black power to you as well. So again, like I said, I have Brother Lieutenant. I be calling him give all his titles. Brother Lieutenant Malik Haynes of Culture Life Herbs and Spices in the red, black, and Greenville. And let me tell y'all, I grew up in Montrose, Arkansas, which is like a hop and a skip from Greenville.
Right.
So spent plenty of time in Greenville, went to school in Lake Village, Arkansas, and most of my teachers came from Greenville. So I'm so familiar with Greenville, and I've been to Culture Life. I can say I've been to Culture Life and Herbs
Right.
myself.
That's
Hey,
right.
I was going to Montrose, and I said, let me stop through and get something I need. So I did that. So I thank Brother Malik. So welcome to Talk Black with me. I'm so happy that you accepted my invitation to come on. How you doing?
Thank you, sister. Doing fine. Doing fine. I appreciate the invitation, and I want to thank you for allowing me to share my knowledge on your platform exclusively. Because I want to let the people know off top now is my knowledge. You have so many different herbalists on the scene today, so this is my knowledge. You can fact check if you like, but Sister Crystal gave me the platform tonight to display my knowledge, so that's what I intend to do effectively.
Well, that's appreciated. So what I want to do is just tell us a little bit about how you got involved in with the excuse me, holistic care with the herbs and with the spices. Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
Yes, thank you, Crystal, for allowing me to share that history because a lot of people, most herbalists when they start this journey, they start with themselves. And before I started using the herbs myself, I got a chance to witness my father's slow walk to his transition with lupus.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him go through so many changes and different procedures and changing of medication. So I knew that I never want to have to experience that. And in 2013, I'm a commercial driver by trade. So you have to take a health physical every 2 years to get your medical card. So I went to the physician, take my physical, and he told me that I had a significant amount of blood in my urine,
Mm.
which was it was very shocking to me because I thought I was relatively healthy. I was thought I was eating right and exercising when I could. And when the doctor told me this, it shook my foundation.
Yeah.
And my mind just immediately went to my father and the things that he had gone through, and some of the elders in my family, my uncles, older brothers. And I knew then that I did not want to go that route with that kind of treatment. So I just happened to be on YouTube one night, just scrolling,
Mm-hmm.
and came across, as many have who started this journey in the last maybe 10 or 15 years, came across Dr. Sabi, and, and the great elder who's now an ancestor.
Mm-hmm.
He just uh for a lack of a better term, he just blew my wig off with some of the things he was saying. He was curing AIDS. He was, just talking about different diseases he had dealt with, and even starting with himself at 40 something years old. So I started with about maybe 5 or 6 herbs that he named in the YouTube video: burdock root, yellow dock, beetroot, elderberry. And at the time in this area is very hard to find herbs, very
Mm-hmm.
hard to find herbs. So the most accessible and available place was GNC. So I went out to GNC looking for these, what Dr. Sabi, this list that I had written down to Dr. Sabi, and I found them in a pill form, a capsule form.
Yeah.
So after about 2 months or so, 3 months, and I'm very skeptical about the system.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it. I said, well, this may not be what it says on the bottle. So I started to look for just different places to where I could purchase the actual herb themselves in the raw form. And that's what I started to do. And as I started to take these herbs, my wife and I, because she's been a big part of this journey, um, we started to take these herbs and started to see just different things. Like uh, I had sinus itis real bad. And after I started taking these herbs and started eliminating some of the things from my diet, because when I went to that doctor and he asked me, well, Mr. Haynes, or what are some of the things that you're eating? And at the time, I was driving trucks on the road. I was eating a lot of red meat, a lot of steaks, a lot of starchy food, potatoes, rice, um, and I was eating this like 3 times a week because because
Mm-hmm.
it was real quick to make. You could cook that in the truck. So you
Mm-hmm.
got utensils now. You can cook stuff in the truck. So I was eating steak and potatoes just about 3 or 4 times a week. Sweets. I was drinking a lot of Coca-Colas. I was eating a lot of salty potato chips, a lot of honey buns and donut sticks. My diet was, it was, it was, it was really horrible on the
Mm-hmm.
road. It was the
Mm-hmm.
truck, but when I get out that truck, I saw a difference when I would, cut some of these things out of my diet and exercise a little more. I saw the difference in me being in that truck and me being out of the truck.
Yeah.
So it was my diet that was killing me, and that's where all diseases start in the gut, in the stomach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said something when you said your family, watching your personal experience, because I had that same experience. I think um Brandy was a baby, so it must have been like 27 years ago. I was in Milwaukee and I was listening to some of my elders, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins talk about the medications they were taking. And for lack of a better phrase, it scared the shit out of me. I was like, I'm not, no, mm-mm. And
Yeah, but
so, I started, trying to watch what I ate a little and moving. I do a lot of exercising. So I just
yes.
got to start getting my diet matched up with my movement some. But yeah, so I understand that part. But you said something. You said uh you were taking the pills and you didn't want the pill form. You wanted the herb, the raw herb.
Yes.
So I want to talk about that because a lot of times we are so accustomed to taking pills,
Mm.
you know, and it's something that's going on now. I see if you go in Walmart, if you go in Walgreens, you see all they are stocked to the nines with all these different things that you just talked about, elderberry, burdock root, all these things. Tell us why we need the raw herb as opposed to the pill.
Well, see, I'm glad you brought that up, Sister Crystal. You emphasized on that because what the industry has done, and we're talking about the pharmaceutical industry. They have they watch us. They're
Mm-hmm.
always watching us, our people, black people, you know, because that they waiting on their next dollar by marketing to us. And it was I want to say a holistic health boom the last 10 years. And they watch social media, they watch the trends, they watch us.
Mm-hmm.
And what they've done is they've commercialized
Mm-hmm.
uh, a lot of these herbs that we're talking about. And in commercializing those herbs, we know when we deal with the enemy, he's money based. So he's going to put as much cut on those herbs as he possibly can. I made that distinction one day. I had some smoked paprika that I had bought from my herb supply, and I had smoked paprika in my cabinet. And I looked at the difference in the color, the
Mm-hmm.
smell, even the taste. The same thing with the lemon pepper that I get from my herb supplier and the lemon pepper that you buy at the store. Two different lemon peppers, two different colors, two different tastes. So we know that the enemy, as Dr. Collett, may peace be upon his spirit, said he put the cut on it. He didn't remixed it,
Yeah.
stepped on it.
Yep.
And that's what they do. So if you want to be sure, because a lot of people, a lot of times they would, I ask them certain things like just say black seed oil. Black seed oil has become real popular in the last few years. And I would ask people, well, do you have black seed oil? Yeah, I'm taking the black seed oil capsules I get from the store. And and what's the difference in your black seed oil? I said, well, I know my black seed oil is cold pressed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's as a matter of fact, it smells different from the black seed oil that you may purchase out of the store. So I tell them I don't trust things that you can buy out of, chains, Walmart and Walgreens and CVS because they're money based.
And it's something because I one of my go-to spices is smoked paprika. I love smoked paprika. And when you said that, I was like, "Ooh!" And it still costs a whole arm and a leg in the store. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come to you from now on for my smoked paprika because that's man, that's my go-to spice. But you know what? It's crazy because you know, uh, first they mock us for using these herbal remedies, and then once they see everybody is really benefiting from them, they start marketing and start exploiting it as well. Because I remember when elderberry first came on the scene and people were like, oh, that stuff don't work, that stuff don't work. Man, you could go in the store, you can find elderberry products in any form, liquid, gummies, capsules, all that stuff, and that's for most of these things. So, I think it is important for people to understand that these things are cut and they are added ingredients, and then your body has to, I think, I don't know. This is my opinion. You can clarify it for me too. When you take it in pill form, your body processes it. Does it take more to process that pill form than it does the natural raw herb? That's what my.
Now, now in a let's say in a capsule or maybe a gel tab, it wouldn't take as long as maybe a white pill or a blue
Yeah.
pill. Um, and that was one of the things I wanted to touch on too, like the elderberry that you just mentioned. That's one of the ingredients in cough syrup. You
Hmm.
know, they have taken what and they are so, how can I put it, sneaky, because what they were doing was they were going to our ancient medicines and they were making synthetic forms. That's how we get the pills today. They would go and study our ancient remedies and our ancient herbs, and they would take those and take them to the lab and make synthetic forms, cut them with all different types of harmful chemicals. And now that they see that um, it's a wave now of holistic healing going on and people switching to uh, ancient methods. Um, and now they are saying, well, okay, well, we'll just give them all the herbs in a capsule or gel when we stock them in Walmart and say this is what it is. So they're looking to make money on every end. You know, most true herbalists are doing it for the passion because a lot of them started with themselves, so they know how important it is to heal the body holistically. And
Yeah.
as you said, those capsules, those pills, those white pills, they're so harmful to the internal organs such as the liver and the kidneys because everything that you put in your body has to filter through your kidneys and your liver.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And I do want to say greetings to Sister Mila. She's on. Um, you said something because I don't know if they still do, but I remember Brother Patrick was mentioning that Harvard has a whole department that they travel to Africa to learn about the holistic method so they can come back and create the synthetic form. And it's crazy because one of our ancestors, when you said that, it reminded me of this ancestor named Percy Julian, who entered the physical realm in 1899, and he was instrumental in helping to create these synthetic versions of what and that's the thing. They always take our best minds and they use it against these minds are used against us. At the end of the day, it is against us because, like Brother Marco said on the show, he said we have used our gut as a medicine cabinet, and that's not how it's supposed to be.
Mm.
But I remember on the call when you was talking about those clothes and the ham. Speak about how they have used our ancestors' science for their benefit.
Yes, we are the template for just about everything that they've done in this country, and studying even, and this was after they brought us over on ships. You know, we was over here already. A lot of us was traveling, but they got a chance to study our eating habits. You know, um, and we would take certain herbs such as cloves and ginger. That was that Christmas ham, I believe it was. We were speaking about how you would go to the store or you would see mama, a big mama would cook that Christmas ham and it would have all this. At the time I was a child, I just thought the ham was bumpy. I didn't know that these were cloves in the ham, and the cloves actually help to kill the parasites, the microorganisms in the ham or in the meat, such as the same as ginger. You know, ginger and a lot of spices like cayenne pepper. A lot of these things kill the microorganisms in these meats, and I want to say that's why we have a lot of spicy dishes in the black community. You know, because that's not new.
Right.
When I visit African restaurants today, they
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of spice in their food. You know, Indian restaurants have a lot of, because they still deal with a lot of these ancient herbs that our ancestors were dealing with. So it's very important to incorporate these herbs in our foods. And like my wife and I, we made put on a big pot of pinto beans, and we would take those herbs, moringa, beetroot powder, fenugreek, right off these shelves, and season the pinto beans, because we may use, say, smoked turkey necks as a flavoring. Just a couple of pieces just for flavoring. So we try to incorporate the herbs in a lot of what we eat to help maintain good gut health. Fin Flaxseed, you know. So it's very important to incorporate. Dr. Layla Africa said that our ancestors ingested as many as 40 herbs a day,
Wow.
because that we didn't eat. The diet that we have today is not the diet that we had in antiquity.
Yeah.
This what is it? This food pyramid that we have in this country, it is not how we ate years ago. Nuts, berries, a few grains, fruit. You know, we ate from the earth.
Yeah. If you haven't, y'all, I just happened upon it. I had the book, but I had not started reading it. The docu series High on the Hog. The book is written by Sister Jessica Harris. I think that's her name. But it's a wonderful, wonderful. I enjoyed that to the fullest. And on the first episode, she and the host, they went to the African market, and
Mm.
they had the yams. You ain't seen yams till you see these yams, and they had okra like
Yes,
that. So it's amazing how much we have not learned or carried over, because I know that my grandmother, she used to go out and she used to go and pick some wild herbs and things of that nature. But we was, like you said, we weren't paying attention, and now it's coming back to memory. We used to think dandelions were weeds.
yes,
Now you can, now it's like a cold delicacy,
yes.
and everything. So, what are some of your favorite herbs that you swear by? And let me say this: shout out to your queen, Sister Jackie. That that sister is a y'all. She's
Sister Jackie,
one of my
she
favorite.
she 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 hear you. She just sitting right in the other room.
Hey, Sister Jackie. Yes,
She said, "Hey, she got her head in that computer doing schoolwork, I
I
guess."
know she's that mad person, and Sante for all those mad supplies that you sent. So after you answer that question, I just asked Sister Mary asked the question too.
Now, some of my favorite herbs, burdock root. I love burdock root because it's a good blood purifier. Um, Beetroot is also good for the liver and blood purifier. I like dandelion because it's good. It's good for gut health. Um, Nettle, good for gut health. Ginger, cancer fighting, good for gut health, good for circulation. Cinnamon. Um, I kind of I kind of have my favorites, but I normally just a little bit of this and that almost every day. Something that's real good for gut health. I know a lot of people activated charcoal. You know,
Yes,
good. It's a good gut
and it's
cleanser.
good for dental health too.
We also the
Mhm.
queen also makes a toothpaste out of the activated charcoal. But yeah, those are some of my favorite herbs. Before you ask me that question, it was something that you was talking about them studying us, and I have a book here
Mhm.
by this white man, white guy, Jeffro Klaus, who
Mm.
actually studied what he said was Native American holistic health cures. He had gotten sick himself.
Mhm.
He has a lot of recipes in here that he studied from our people over here.
Yeah. And then if you don't, I didn't bring it with me, but I have it at home. Dr. Layla Africa's African Holistic Care, where he lists different. Do you have it? I know you probably do. Where he lists the different ailments and what you can do. Yes, that's it right there.
Yeah,
Yes. So
this
yeah,
this book is golden.
it is. It's very golden, because all you got to do is turn to it. Turn to what's ailing you.
Exact. Also, sister, this is one too that Dr. Layla
Mm,
Africa has.
okay.
Uh, and this is his queen on the cover.
Okay.
And what it is, all the arrows are pointing to different sections on the face where you have blemishes and
Mhm.
pimples and different stuff to let you know where you're having problems in the digestive system or in the body.
Wow.
So a lot of times we get early notifications that
Mm-hmm.
something's going wrong in the body with rashes or pimples or different things like that.
Right. The body, I remember that book. One of my other favorite books is the Rule Book and User Guide to Black Health. And he speaks about that. The body lets you know immediately if something is not going the way it should go. And most of us ignore it. Like, wait a minute now, my back hurting. Wait a minute, wait, so things of that nature. But yeah, it's true. So when you see that little pimple coming up, you know something is out of balance. Yeah. So thank you for that point. But Sister Mary wanted to know, are the herbs still healthy after you cook them?
Yes, they're still healthy after you cook them. Now with certain vegetables, you can only cook to a certain degree. A lot of times we cook our vegetables, we cook
Overcook
all of the nutrition out of them, but a lot of the herbs come. If we talking about dry herbs, because that's mostly what we deal in, dry herbs. So yes, the dry herbs after you cook them, because actually after you cook them, you're releasing the properties into whatever you cooking with.
them. One thing I love this time of year because I have my herbs out in my backyard, and I've been trying to drink my lemon water every morning, but I've been going out and just picking a couple leaves of mint and putting
Mm,
it in my water. And so a lot of times when I'm cooking my beans or my greens or any type of vegetable, I like to add my fresh herbs to the pot.
yes,
I love it. I love it.
yes,
So y'all go out and get you some. If you don't have any seeds, you can go to Lowe's or somewhere and get the plants. They jumped up in their prices because they know everybody's trying to grow their own. So because the other day I was like, I refuse to pay $10 for this plant. So yeah, but y'all, it's so important that you begin to learn about these different herbs because I'm telling you, it's nothing like them. They bring out the flavor in your food so much
yes,
better. So you'll begin
yes,
to notice that your vegetables and your beans and things of that nature will taste better. But
yes.
Sister Valerie wanted to know, what about cleansing? What do you recommend for cleansing?
Now me personally, I kind of like to start off with a liquid cleanse, a detox to get the system to going. And then you have antioxidants like berries, strawberries, blueberries,
Mm-hmm.
blackberries. A lot of berries help to detoxify the body and the cells. And of course, you have the herbs, burdock root, some of the ones, like I said, uh, uvi ursa is good for the kidneys, help to flush the kidneys. The nettle, the dandelion, senna, cascara sagrada. And the thing about herbs are they have so many. One herb may have so many different benefits. You could take one herb and it'll have so many benefits. But a lot of herbs are used in combinations. Just as these doctors, they'll give you a pill and they'll give you another pill for this and all. But with the pills come side effects.
Right.
See, with the herbs, there are no side effects. Now, mind you, there are some herbs that you can only use in moderation, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because you do have, chemicals, but these are natural chemicals in the herbs. So some herbs you can only use in moderation. But yeah, flushing is a good thing. We should flush periodically, at least I would say every 3 months, a good flushing, and I would do it for a week.
Mm.
Liquid fast, fruit smoothies, intermediate fasting. Like right now, I am working with a nurse practitioner who has come into the holistic health realm,
Mm.
and she has some of her clients, and I've started some of my clients to intermediate fasting where you eat nothing before 12 o'clock p.m. and you eat nothing after 8 o'clock p.m. You set your body to the circadian rhythm. Our systems are set with the solar system and the lunar system. We're natural people.
You know what, Sister Mila and I talked about that last week, and I told people Now, when you eat with the circadian rhythm, that does not mean at 12 o'clock you go in there and fix you some bacon, eggs, toast, green pancakes. It does not mean that. Because you know how we are. Now, you know I'm doing this diet, but you know I can eat between 12 and 8. So you just go in there and eat up all kind of stuff. No. I try to start my day with some fruit. So
Right.
yeah.
And that's good because the thing about it is you want to eat, you know, a lot of people, well, I eat fruit all day. No, you shouldn't eat fruit all day.
No.
You should eat fruit in the mornings, because in the evenings around 6 o'clock is when your pancreas is going to start to process the sugars that you've had for that day, you know. And that's why we say don't eat nothing after 8 o'clock, because your body's actually in processing and repair mode, you know, and it starts to eliminate around 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, from about that time till about maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you know. So that's why, you know, you're giving your body time to do what it needs to do. But like you said, some people after that 12 o'clock hour, and it's after 12, and
It's
then they
time to
go
get
to,
down.
they go to lunch. They got to have that and baked chicken, potatoes and gravy with the sweet potato of apple cobbler. So I mean, one meal a day is what I try to practice. One meal a day, and if I just happen to want a snack late at night or something, some walnuts, you know, popcorn, something light. No microwave popcorn.
Right. And y'all, if y'all didn't notice, when we had the spring break program, Sister Catherine came up and she taught us how to make seasoned popcorn. So you can just go on back to that video and make you some seasoned popcorn, or you can pop it on the stove and create what you got in your cabinet. See, one thing is I always have certain spices in my cabinet. So I can always go in there and put some nutritional yeast in there, some Cajun spices, some paprika, and you can spice it up however you like. And you know, that's a great snack. So the last couple weeks, I have been struggling. I've been like, I need to start going to the gym in the morning because I've been going in the afternoon, and I'm usually in there from like 4 to 6. And then when I get home, I love to cook. So I'm gonna cook and I'm gonna eat at like 7:30. So I gotta stop doing that based on what you just said. And I knew it, but I needed somebody to say it. So y'all you really do need to, so there's some talk out there where it doesn't matter when you eat, it's all still the same. No. It's not.
It's not. And like you said, it's, you know, for people that like to work out, if they can get a workout in the morning, it's best to get it in the morning before they start that day, because actually that workout starts the blood to circulate. You know, it actually, if you notice, once you start working, you may get up in the morning a little sluggish and tired and don't want to do it. But once you start moving, you start to wake up. Your mind starts to wake up, because now you're circulating that blood to the brain, giving that brain oxygen. So it's best to start to get that workout in the morning, and then have your fruit or your smoothie, you know, for your breakfast, and that'll hold you over until lunch or after 12. And normally I like to have my meal around 3 or 4, because I noticed the earlier in the afternoon that I have my meal, the earlier that I have how can I put it, that I have a bowel movement the next morning, the exit process. And that's what you want. You want a speedy transition. You don't want this food sitting in your body. And that's why we say eat light, eat the fruits, eat the vegetables, you know, because when you eat these heavy meats and these heavy starches, it's just sitting in the intestine, in the gut, creating a disease, setting up bacteria, you know. And a lot of people, well, I go to the bathroom every day. If you go into the bathroom every day, if you're going twice a day and you eating 3 or 4 times a day and snacks in between, your bowel movement that you're having is food from a week or so ago. Yes. You know, that's why people go and get these colonics.
Yes.
Because the colon is 5 feet long. And you have 6 sections to the colon. You know, you have the cecum, you have the ascending colon, then you have the transverse, which runs across. Then you have the descending colon, and then you have the sigmoid colon, which is a little bend at the bottom. Then you have the rectum, and colon cancer has become so common and rampant in the last 10, 15 years. And the most problematic area is the sigmoid colon, which is the last part of the colon where food is just sitting there.
Mm.
And you're having a lot of colon cancer and rectal colon cancer.
Dang.
I mean, I used to suffer with a lot of things before I changed my diet.
Yeah.
Hemorrhoids, bleeding hemorrhoids.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many things. I would bend over and I would get dizzy tying my shoe. I wasn't overweight, nothing like that, but I was eating all the wrong foods and I was having mild issues. There were signs that let me know that these mild issues can turn into actual blood pressure and diabetes conditions, which long term turn into some form of cancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just want to speak to somebody because I saw her come on, Sister Melissa. Greetings, Sister Melissa. Glad you tuned in along with Sister Mila. And Sister Mila is like, absolutely. That's why she stresses the 4:15 a.m. workout. I ain't up there yet. I could probably do like 5:30, but I'm gonna have to start doing that because I have noticed that I'm eating later and I don't want to do that. But I remember when we had Brother Ty King on, he talked about, and I had heard him say before, uh, you shouldn't eat anything until you have a bowel movement. Your day should start with a bowel movement. What do you think about that?
I think your day should start with a bowel movement. It's supposed to start with a bowel movement because the bowel movement is actually it's an excretory process for the food you had the day before. Your body has already processed it. So what's left for it to do? But to have a bowel movement. So you should have a bowel movement in the mornings. And that was a problem that I was having on the road because my schedule
Mhm,
was so that I was driving all
mhm,
night. And I would
mhm,
be driving when the sun come up. So I would never have that bowel movement. I would go 2 or 3 days before I would have a bowel movement on the road. Sometimes being gone a week and wouldn't have a bowel movement. And when I did have a bowel movement, the constipation was just gruesome. And like I said, we can change a lot of these conditions just by changing the way we eat. Once
Yep.
I stopped eating a lot of that stuff, I stopped seeing a lot of those things that my fingernails, were pale. That was one of the things that the doctor looked at when he told me I had that blood in my urine. He looked at my fingernails, he looked at my eyes. He was like, your fingernails are pale. You like you dehydrated because I wasn't drinking a lot of water. I was drinking Cokes.
Mhm. 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 Sister Mary said, "Do you have a book on this about the benefits of different herbs and how to use them that I can purchase? Need information I can study about these different herbs and spices."
I have Sister Mary's information, so I will send her a list of some books that she could get, herb dictionaries and things of that nature. Because as we said when we started this program, this is a platform that you allowed me to be on to display my knowledge, my personal knowledge, and the knowledge is key. We have to have the knowledge and the science behind the herbs because you have a lot of opportunists that have come on the scene with the trend that has come about with the herbs, and a lot of people are just selling herbs. They're just telling people, well, this cures this, you buy this, and they're not studying the science behind these herbs and the combinations that go into these herbs. Like Sister Mary said, how to use these herbs, even when to use some of these herbs. So
Mhm. Right.
I'll get you that information, Sister Mary, a little later this evening because we got another Zoom call.
Yeah, we got another call, so we ain't gonna be long. But I just want to say because I know that there's a herb for everything. Last week, when you reach a certain age, everything just kind of shift. And I was having some major problems with this pollen. I have never had issues. I mean, I was coughing, my eyes was hurt. It was just everything. So I was like, okay, I know what it is. So I knew I had some mullein
Mm,
tea in my pantry because I'm like the queen of teas. I got like 50 boxes of tea in my pantry. So I went out and I pulled out my mullein and I started drinking that and I noticed a change right away.
yeah,
Especially at night when I would go to bed, I wasn't up, coughing and sneezing. I was sneezing a lot.
right.
So, y'all, these work. I had this whole discussion with my oldest daughter. She a paramedic, so she into all that Western medicine. And she was like, they don't work. I said, lie. Because I was making some elderberry tea one day. I mean, elderberry syrup one day. And she was like, that stuff don't work. So we had a big old thing about, my herbs and my teas and stuff. Because she was like, I can't sleep. I said, you need to drink some chamomile tea, some lavender tea. It's up there.
Right,
So,
right. The
so
chamomile and that lavender
yeah,
is a good sedative, good for relaxing. The you say what, Jackie? The valerian root, which is real pungent.
mm,
That's what she was over there for. That valerian root is pungent, but it does the job. I was
really.
having problems sleeping. I was working at um what is it over in Leland? Not Leland, Indianola, Super Value, and we was hauling groceries to Oklahoma every night. I would have to go to
Ooh,
Oklahoma from Indiana. Yeah, I know.
I know that drive because I my son live there.
Yeah, I would have to go there, sister, try to drop all them loads and then get back to Indianola, within the time frame that you're allowed to drive. So that threw me to trying to sleep in the daytime, and I was
Yeah,
having the hardest time. So when I came into the knowledge of the valerian root and the
Valerian.
chamomile and lavender,
Mm-hmm.
sleep like Rip Van Winkle.
and I think our people need to know that because I think with so much so many, what do you call it? Distraction. I don't Distraction ain't the word, but so much going on. We got so much going on. We got TV on, we got our phones on, we got all these things that we have a hard time calming down and
That's
being
right.
able to sleep because I see in that a lot. So many people had this insomnia going on, and these natural remedies I think can help them calm down and get the required rest. So I wrote that down: valerian root. I know chamomile, and I know lavender.
Lavender.
Uh, I tried to grow some chamomile one time, and that didn't work out. But yeah. So, what do you recommend people start with when they're starting their just whatever they need, huh? Just
uh, just if that depends on, just say for instance they have a blood pressure condition and they want to get off their blood pressure meds. Uh, we normally suggest a detox first to help to detox the organs, the blood, and the cells.
mm-hmm.
And after the detox, we then go on to the combination of herbs that will address the blood pressure condition itself, along with the mucus-free diet, which was one of the things that I don't want to neglect to mention. That mucus-free diet is most important to see maximum benefits and feel maximum benefits with
Mm-hmm.
the herbs. The no meat, no bread, especially white, no dairy, no potatoes, especially white. Now, sweet potatoes are okay.
Okay.
As you was talking about the yams, no rice, no white rice, especially
Brown rice.
brown rice or black rice. No corn because it's so starchy. No
Oh
white
yeah.
salt. No white sugar. No processed food. No fried foods, and no alcohol. I want to make sure I touch no eggs. No eggs. So and a lot of times when I give people that list or run that list down, they normally, well, what can I eat? I can't
Right.
eat.
Right.
they've
Right.
been
Right.
they've been become so accustomed to eating the way that we've been eating until they think that that's normal. And when you give them this list, we'll tell them, well, you have to eat fruits and vegetables and nuts and go back to what our ancestors ate. And I'm gonna die. No, you're not gonna die.
You
You
gonna
actually gonna
relive.
live. You're
Right.
right.
You really gonna live now. One thing you said was sugar. Do you have any alternatives to white sugar?
Yes, sugar in the raw is cane sugar.
Mm-hmm.
They sell it and now that's one of the things that we do purchase out of a Walmart or Kroger, and we also get it from the herb supplier too. It's raw cane sugar. Sugar. We had some. The thing is dry now, but we had a whole jar of the sugar in the raw cane sugar, and the salt. We have black salt that's in the cabinet. We also have pink Himalayan salt that's in the cabinet. Those are natural salts. And a lot of times people say, well, that's still salt, but it's a natural salt. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
it's not bleached,
Right.
just like
Not processed.
exactly, not processed.
And
So
yeah, because I use the pink salt. I haven't used the black salt. And right, Sister Miller, I do use agave as well. And Sister Mary asked about honey. What about honey?
honey, raw unfiltered honey, and if you can get it from your area, if you have someone that makes honey in your area, you get it in your area. We learned some time ago that it's
Local
best
honey.
to eat the stuff that's in your area because it
Mhm.
contains all the elements that you know that's in your body. You've grown up in this area eating the dirt as children as we
Yeah.
used to, and minerals was in that dirt. We was
You better believe it. You better believe it. That's one thing. When I make my elderberry syrup, I do go to one of the local grocery stores and get the local honey to
right.
use for that because it is different. It is. But for
Jackie
my
also,
tea,
she said monk fruit is
monk.
one. Monk fruit,
Mm,
a natural sweetener.
okay,
Monk
a
fruit.
natural sweetener. Okay. Yeah, because yeah, I stopped that white sugar some time ago. I used the honey in the raw. I mean, sugar in the raw as well. And
And Sister Mila said agave, yeah, because
agave.
that's what we use for to sweeten our teas.
That's what I use too.
Agave nectar.
Mm-hmm.
Even in some of the things like the beans, the pinto beans,
Yeah.
to keep from dumping sugar in, we put agave in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I know look, Sister Mary said she gonna be ordering all this, but can you give the people who haven't ordered from you your input what's your information? I can put it in the chat as well so that they can know how to get in touch with you to get some of these wonderful herbs that you um have been talking about.
Okay. We are Culture Life Herbs and Spices. Culture with a K, and we do have a Facebook page, and our contact information, um, phone number is area code 662
Hold
eight
on.
two
66662.
eight two
Okay.
two
822.
5506, and the second number of contact will be the same 662-822-6465, and that's Sister Jackie.
All right. Well, brother Malik, we're gonna wind down because we got another talk.
That's the thing. One thing about it, once I get the jaw jabbing, I get in the
Me too,
groove.
because it's so much great information
It
that our people
is.
need because there is a connection, mind, body, and spirit, and we have to understand that because once you get your physical, your mental is gonna start. You're gonna
That's right.
start thinking clearer and
Right.
better. You're
That's
gonna
right.
start feeling better. You spiritually, you're gonna notice things around you.
That's right.
You're gonna want to be in nature and
That's
all that.
right.
Oh, I know I got a question. The dandelions that we see out in our yard, are they safe?
Yes, they are safe. They got us out here spraying our grass, killing all these herbs.
Right, right. Because my granddaughter likes to pick them and do this, but I'm like, wait a minute now, we might can use that to make some tea.
Jackie just said she ran across a recipe where you can fry them.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, I need to add
We deep fry everything.
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 Everything. Wow. I'm not. Why? Well, I should not be surprised. We'll put some meal on it. Look, Sister Jackie said, Malik, help me. We gonna help you, Sister Jackie. You gonna be
We
in
got
room.
you, Sister Jackie.
We got you. We got you. We got you. So we gonna have to bring you back so we can share this information
Yes,
again.
I was about to say that's the thing. We need to have more forums like this because I would love to be able to bounce off with Sister Mila. I know she's into health, and so
Hmm.
many people we could, like you said, the information needs to be out here, especially in this area in the Delta, who
Yes.
has the worst bill for health in the country. And
What?
and the thing about it is, Sister Crystal, it's the most fertile land, as you know, in the country.
Right.
We should be the most healthy. We should be the healthiest people, should I say, in the country.
Yes. It's crazy because my cousin over in Montreal, she had asked about someone that sold herbs down in that area, and I was like, Culture Life, so I'm gonna have to remind her because she always doing something.
Yes,
She's a great cook and she's young, she's crafty and everything of that nature. But I gotta remind my Montrose people that you are over there so they can come over there and patronize your business because we need to get well
that's right.
holistically and naturally,
Right.
y'all.
We got
I'm
to be.
talking to myself too.
If we gonna fight, if we gonna get out there and fight the enemy on the front line, we can't be fighting with diabetes, high
Right.
blood pressure.
You gotta stop and go take your meds. No, we ain't, we can't,
Take the
we can't
insulation.
win.
No, we in a firefight. We ain't got time for this.
Right, we ain't got time for you to be stopping taking no meds. So yeah, family, I thank y'all so much for tuning in. Sister Mary, Sister Jackie, Sister Mila, Brother Qua, all those, Sister Melissa, you are appreciated.
Yes.
And we're gonna end, but first I want to let you all know that the last Monday, I think it's April 24th, we will be having the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club on. I know. Oh, we do have another question. Brother Quad said, "What's best for anxiety?"
Some of the herbs we was just talking about, the chamomile. We also have lemon balm, St. John's wort, the lavender, the valerian root, all those calming and relaxing. Ashwagandha, all those calming and relaxing herbs.
Brother Quad, I'm sure you can find some down there in your neck of the woods, some raw
Where's
natural
Brother
herbs.
Qua?
He is in, I think, South Carolina, right? In
Okay.
South Carolina, down there in Rock Hill, I want to say. I don't want to give your location. You might not want me giving your location out like that, but I know he's in South Carolina. So,
Okay.
yeah. So he said thank you for
You're
that.
welcome, brother.
Yes, and we send healing blessings and healing vibes to you, Brother Quad. He just had major surgery on his back, so we want to
Yes.
send some healing vibes to you and healing energy as well. South
Yes.
Carolina, yeah. So again, thank you all for tuning in. And as I was saying, the April 24th week, that Monday at 6 o'clock, we'll be having, I know, Commander Brother Nick Bezel and a few other members of the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club. And hey Tina, Sister Tina, that's my friend right there, y'all. She keep me motivated every morning by sending me these special text messages. Sister Tina said, I'm in the wrong state. No, you are not. She's in Milwaukee. But we gonna
Come on down, sister. We pushing for Sister Crystal just mentioned the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club, and then you have Mississippi on the Move and the Black Liberation Movement. We pushing for a remigration back to the South. So come on out of that cold city and come on down here where rock and shine.
Yes, come on, Sister Tina. So yeah, Valerie said that's what she does, 1 meal a day. So you know what? I just told somebody today, this old plantation be killing me because I be sitting there at my desk be wanting to eat. But when I'm at home, I can do the 1 meal, no problem.
It's because it's like he said, it's part of the anxiety that pushes people to eat. That same thing with the truck. I can be at home and I can follow my regiment. I can work out, go to that park. I can stay to them on 1 meal a day. Once I get back in that truck, it's like the pressure is there. And I don't know. It's a habit. It's a habit.
You got that right.
And the chemicals in the food create the habit.
Woo! Yes, it's addictive because and Sister Mila had shared a video some time ago. She was talking about when you want something crunchy, it's because you I forgot what it was. One of them was because you're depressed. Something you eat because you're depressed. I think it was sweets, and then the other one is because of anxiety or something like that. So I've been finding myself wanting chips lately. You stressed, and I know it's because I already know why. So I ain't gonna say it on here, but yeah, I already know why we want some chips when I'm sitting here. So yeah. Stress, Sister Mila. But again, we're gonna end because we can't, this is a great conversation. And y'all see Brother Malik's medicine cabinet is behind him, so he got everything we need.
He got over 300 herbs.
Yeah, wow, 300?
Yes.
Wow. See, I got some elderberry from him. What else did I get? The sea moss. I don't even want to talk about the sea moss right now because my feelings was hurt. I got shea butter. I got some I remember I got some kind of tea that was good for respiratory problems.
Respiratory, yes. And that's the thing. We also have skincare, the shea butter, raw African black soap. We have natural toothpaste. My wife does a skin spray for eczema and different stuff. So
Mm.
we have a few different products. Different products.
So yes, I did drop the link to their Facebook page in the chat. So just go to Culture Life Herbs and Spices and get in touch with them and let them know what you need for your ailments, and then join us again. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on next week. I kind of sort of want to, but for sure the 24th we'll be back to talk about Elmer Geronimo Pratt
That's
and
right.
why we need to protect ourselves and how we need to protect ourselves and why we need to stand up for our Second Amendment rights. So y'all be sure to join us again. Brother Malik, brother, brother Lieutenant,
Yes, yes, man. Sister Warrior.
the
I,
king of the Delta, red, white, and Greenville.
red, black, and
Red,
green.
white, and Lord have mercy, listen to me. Red, black, and
That's
Greenville.
right. That's right. It's been
Red,
a long day, sister.
it has, and I'm thinking ahead already. So yeah, so let me get my focus back. But yeah, the king of the Delta, the red, black, and Greenville. Salute, and we'll be talking with you soon. And again, Asante for everybody who joined the broadcast tonight. Peace and love
Peace
and
and
black
love. Black Power family.
You said 125, Mr. Drake.